This video lecture will cover material from Chapter 1 of your Human Anatomy and Physiology textbook. In this video, we will talk about the major functions necessary for life and walk through the different organ systems that carry out these functions. We will be talking about organ systems, which are a set of different organs that work together to accomplish a certain function or purpose. For example, your blood vessels and your heart are considered separate organs. Together, they are able to circulate or move blood throughout your body. Either organ alone could not accomplish this. For example, the blood vessels alone could hold the blood, but would have no way of getting it to move throughout the body. Likewise, the heart alone could pump the blood, but would have nowhere to pump it to. Only by working together are these two organs able to accomplish the task of circulating blood throughout the body. Our different organ systems are working all the time to carry out these necessary life functions, as well as other tasks. Many of these activities require cooperation of several organs, sometimes from different parts of the body. So what are all of these important functions that are keeping the organ systems busy? You should familiarize yourself with this list of 8 necessary life functions. With the exception of reproduction, our lives depend on our bodies doing these tasks and doing them well. Reproduction is not strictly required for the life of one individual, but it is a necessary life function for the continued existence of our species. Some of these life functions are linked. For example, our bodies take in nutrients and energy from the outside environment during digestion and use this energy and raw material for metabolic activity, such as building new muscle or growing. Byproducts and wastes from these processes must be eliminated. Different organ systems are devoted to carrying out one or more of these life functions. The organ systems we will cover in the rest of this video include the integumentary system, the skeletal system, the muscular system, the nervous system, the endocrine, lymphatic, cardiovascular, respiratory, digestive, urinary, and reproductive systems. We will walk through this list, starting at the top with the integumentary system. The integumentary system can be thought of as your body's outer covering. This system includes the hair, the nails, and the organ of the skin. Remember that the skin is considered an organ. It is comprised of several different types of tissue working together to accomplish a particular function. This system is tasked with maintaining the boundaries between the outside environment and the inside of our bodies, which contain our internal organs, muscles, our blood and other fluids, and the rest of the cells of the body. One way to think about the function of maintaining boundaries is to think about an astronaut. An astronaut needs to wear a spacesuit because without one, they cannot survive on the surface of the moon. The conditions are simply too harsh. In a similar way, many of the cells, tissues, and organs on the inside of our body cannot function or even survive if they're exposed to the outside environment. Even here on Earth, the outside environment would probably be too cold, too dry, and too dangerous due to pathogens for any of our cells, internal cells and organs to survive without the skin. The integumentary system thus acts as a sort of protective suit for our internal organs. In addition to forming the external covering and protecting deeper tissue, the integumentary system also contains nerve receptors, such as the ones that give us our sense of touch. This system also contains sweat and oil glands, which serve different purposes. For example, sweat glands help keep our bodies from overheating. When we're hot, we produce sweat, which cools us off through evaporation. The next system we will cover is the skeletal system. This system, which is probably familiar to you as a skeleton, is made up of bones and joints. Bones provide protection to major body organs. For example, your skull or your cranium protects your brain, while your rib cage protects your heart and your lungs. Your joints are found at sites where separate bones meet, and these allow one bone to move relative to the other. Your bones also act as a reservoir or a storage site for the minerals in your body. Your bones are partly composed of minerals, especially calcium. The inside or the marrow of your bones is the site where your blood cells are formed. One of the life functions we listed before is the ability to move. The skeletal system provides the framework for movement, but your bones cannot provide the force to move themselves. Movement thus requires cooperation with another system, the muscular system. The muscular system is a collection of the skeletal muscles found in your body. Note that throughout the rest of your body, you will also find muscle tissue, for example, in your heart and in several other organs. However, the muscular system only refers to your skeletal muscles, not all of the muscle tissue in your body. Built upon the framework provided by the skeleton, the muscular system enables movement. Muscles are a special type of tissue that can use energy to shorten or contract, and this force can produce movement. There are many different muscles in the human body, each contributing to different movements. Every time you go for a walk, throw a ball, or even chew your food, you are utilizing your skeletal muscles. For many types of motion, the majority of the force will be provided by one or a few muscles. However, even with a simple motion, many other muscles may act indirectly to stabilize the movement. In fact, many of our muscles are kept busy just by helping us maintain proper posture. Your control over your muscles and your ability to respond to some event with your muscles depends on yet another system, the nervous system. Your nervous system consists of your brain, spinal cord, and your nerves. Your nervous system acts as a sort of control or communication center for the body. Another way to think about the nervous system is it is a fast response communications system. Your nervous system, in particular your nerves, sense changes in the environment or either outside your body or internally inside of your body. For example, we mentioned earlier that your integumentary system contains receptors that can detect touch, hot, cold, and other sensations. These receptors send signals through your nerves to your brain, where you will either consciously or subconsciously make a decision to respond. Receiving the input signal, otherwise known as the stimulus, and subsequently responding can happen very fast. The response can be the activation of certain glands, or it can be a signal to muscles to produce movement. So far we have covered 4 different organ systems: the nervous system, the muscular system, the skeletal system, and the integumentary system. Notice that carrying out some necessary life functions, such as responding to a stimulus with movement, requires cooperation of several organ systems. For example, responding to a stimulus with movement requires the nervous system, muscular system, and skeletal system. This response, however, and these life functions would be impossible if these systems lacked energy. There are several other systems in the body that are responsible for bringing nutrients and energy to the muscles, nerves, and indeed all the other tissues and cells in the body. The digestive system is necessary for the energy and metabolism in your body. Metabolism is simply an advanced term for describing all of the chemical reactions that are occurring in your body. The digestive system is composed of several different organs and structures, all responsible for breaking down food and allowing it to be absorbed into the other parts of your body. To put it more simply, this is how your body takes in all the nutrients it needs for any and indeed all of the life functions. The digestion process begins when food enters your oral cavity or your mouth. After this, it travels through the esophagus into the stomach, where most of the food is broken down. After this, the digested food moves into the small intestines, which allows nutrients to be absorbed into the blood. The remaining food passes into the large intestines and eventually out of the body through the rectum and the anus. Other organs are involved in the digestion process as well. For example, the liver. When we eat a meal, for example, a piece of bread, our body breaks down the complex carbohydrates into simpler sugars. Breaking the food down releases some energy, but in order to fully digest the food and release the maximum amount of energy within the cells of our body need oxygen. Just as oxygen is needed for a candle or something else to burn, our body also needs oxygen to burn the food and the calories that we digest. We use up the oxygen in this process and in turn produce carbon dioxide. Another system, the respiratory system, enables us to absorb oxygen and dispel carbon dioxide. Another way to think about it is that the digestive system is how our body absorbs or eats liquids and solids, while the respiratory system is how our body absorbs gases. The respiratory system includes several passages or airways, such as the nasal cavity and the trachea, and all of these airways lead to the lungs. The lungs are the organs where the external gases are exchanged with those from the cells inside our body. In other words, this is the organ where we take in oxygen and eliminate carbon dioxide. Now, the digestive system and the respiratory system both have organs where nutrients or oxygen are absorbed. But once they're absorbed, they have to reach every other cell in the body. To deliver these supplies to the rest of our body, we need yet another system. In this case, the cardiovascular system, which transports oxygen and nutrients throughout the blood. The cardiovascular system includes the blood and the blood vessels, and the heart, which pumps the blood and maintains a certain blood pressure. Pumping blood throughout the body transports nutrients from the digestive system and the oxygen from the respiratory system to the rest of the body. It also takes from the rest of the body the carbon dioxide and transports this back to the respiratory system. Other metabolic waste from the rest of the body is delivered from the blood to yet another system, the urinary system. The organs of the kidney and the bladder and the connections between them form the urinary system. In this system, nitrogenous waste generated from activity in our cells is collected from the blood at the kidneys. The kidneys act as a sort of filtration system for the blood, removing these wastes and then sending them to the bladder and eventually eliminating them from the body. Because of its connection with the cardiovascular system, the kidney can also regulate the salt content, pH balance, or other features of the blood. Excess salt in the blood, for example, could be eliminated or regulated from the body using the urinary system. So we've seen another 4 systems: the digestive system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, and urinary system. Again, cooperation between them is important for delivering nutrients and oxygen to all the cells of our body. Any of these organs or organ systems wouldn't be able to accomplish this alone, but together they normally keep all of our cells healthy and well fed, including the cells in the systems we covered previously, the skeletal, muscular, and nervous systems. We can see that these tasks and life functions are not necessarily easy or trivial to accomplish. They require many organs and many different vessels carrying fluids. Another system, the lymphatic system, helps support these functions by maintaining proper fluid balance in the blood. The lymphatic system has some resemblance to the cardiovascular, and lymphatic vessels can be found alongside blood vessels in some parts of the body. Fluid leaks from the blood vessels in order to deliver nutrients and oxygen, and this leaked fluid is recovered and recycled by the lymphatic system. This recycling function recovers not only fluid, but other cells that might have been in the blood, even invading pathogens and disease-causing bacteria. The lymphatic system also contains organs that act as control centers for the immune system, detecting these invading pathogens that are in the lymph fluid and allowing our immune system to fight them off. Notice that this defense system is a way of our body responding to a stimulus, but it is a slow-acting response, and it does not involve the nervous system. The slow immune system response is similar in some ways to how another organ system works, the endocrine system. The endocrine system is a collection of glands and other organs that are not directly connected to each other, but rather communicate with each other and with the rest of the body through the bloodstream. The organs in this system respond to changes in the internal environment by releasing molecules known as hormones into the blood. These hormones are mostly responsible for controlling and regulating internal processes. One example of the function of this system that many people are probably familiar with, especially if they know somebody that has diabetes, is that of regulating blood sugar levels. The pancreas, which is an organ in the endocrine system, secretes a hormone known as insulin into the blood when blood sugar levels are too high. Insulin directs other cells of the body to absorb the sugar and use it for energy or to store it as fat. The final system in the body that we will cover, the reproductive system, is not strictly necessary for the life of one individual person. However, it is a necessary life function for the continued existence of the species. The reproductive system is also the only system that is gender specific. That is, its complement of organs is different between males and females. The function of the reproductive system is the production of offspring or children. This system produces sex cells, and when a sperm fertilizes an egg, the reproductive system of the female supports the eventual development of the fertilized egg into a newborn baby. To review, we covered the integumentary system, the major component of which is the skin. This system functions to maintain a boundary or barrier with the outside environment. The skeletal and muscular systems provide the basis for movement, which is controlled by the fast response nervous system. The endocrine system provides slower responses and normally helps regulate normal body functions. The lymphatic system helps our body to respond to infections and disease, and also helps recycle fluid leaked by the cardiovascular system. The cardiovascular system, in turn, transports oxygen and carbon dioxide from other parts of the body back and forth through the respiratory system. The cardiovascular system also delivers nutrients absorbed by the digestive system to the rest of the body, and back out from these parts transports waste to the urinary system. Finally, the reproductive system is the only one that is different between males and females, and its function is to produce offspring. Carrying out these necessary life functions requires cooperation between many different organs and indeed between different organ systems. Recall that we are multicellular organisms, with many cells forming a tissue and different types of tissue coming together to form distinct organs. Most of the cells and organs in our body cannot survive outside of the body for long periods of time. The conditions are both too harsh, and the cells and organs of our body are interdependent. These cells work together to accomplish what they could not do alone, and this teamwork is what makes our lives possible.